What does it take to push forward when you have absolutely no idea how things are going to turn out? How do you hold onto your confidence in an idea, especially when there's a good chance it might fail? Sure, you might believe in your own skills, but let's be honest, there are so many unpredictable factors that can derail even the best laid plans. Today, we're diving into a story that's a masterclass in courage under pressure, the kind of courage that goes beyond what most of us will ever have to face. It's the story of two divers who helped rescue 12 boys and their coach trapped deep inside a flooded cave in Thailand. You probably remember this story. It was a moment when the world held its breath, glued to every update, hoping for a miracle that seemed almost impossible. Back in the summer of 2018, 12 young soccer players and their coach set out for what was supposed to be a quick, adventurous hike through the Tam Luang Cave in northern Thailand. What they didn't count on was the sudden monsoon rains that poured in, flooding the cave system and trapping them 4 kilometers deep inside, cut off from the world. 9 days passed without any sign of them. 9 days. Imagine what it would feel like to be trapped in pitch darkness, running low on air, and not knowing if anyone was coming to help. 2 British divers, Rick Stanton and John Volanthen, both veteran cave divers who usually kept low profiles in their day jobs as a retired firefighter and an IT consultant, flew in to join the rescue team. And they didn't come in for the headlines. These men were specialists, the kind you call in when no one else knows what to do. They explored the flooded labyrinth and eventually found the boys and their coach huddled on a tiny, muddy ledge, alive but dangerously weak. But this was just the beginning. The challenge now was monumental. How do you get 12 boys and 1 adult, none of whom could even swim, through 4 kilometers of pitch black, twisting underwater cave tunnels? No one thought it could be done. 1 wrong move, 1 panicked moment, and it could all be over. The only solution these divers saw was radical. Each boy would need to be sedated, put under, and brought out of the cave unconscious. If they woke up underwater, they would panic and drown, taking the rescuer with them. The stakes were sky high, and every expert there, military personnel, local authorities, even the boys' own families had serious doubts. But sometimes the only way out is through. The divers knew that if they didn't push for this plan, the boys would run out of air and die inside that dark cave. This wasn't just a theoretical exercise. These divers had been in and out of the tunnels so many times they knew the terrain and knew the risks. They also knew the pressure was immense. If even 1 child died, the whole world would be watching as they took the blame. And yet they stood firm. They had to. This was the only shot. That kind of conviction is something we all need in whatever form our own caves take. It's about having the courage to step up and lead, to advocate for your plan when others can't see the path forward. Think about it. They had to convince the Thai government and an entire rescue operation team to take a chance on a plan that sounded borderline insane. But they did it because they believed it was the only way to save those kids. That's the kind of courage that transforms uncertainty into action. Now, this is an extreme case, but think about how this principle applies to your own life. Standing up for what you believe in isn't just about facing down life or death stakes. It's about being strong in your ideas, even when no one else sees what you see. It's about knowing when to hold your ground, whether that's advocating for a project at work, sticking up for someone who's being mistreated, or pushing for change in your community when others want to stay comfortable. What these divers did wasn't just courageous, it was leadership in the rawest, purest sense. They didn't have official titles or massive teams behind them. They didn't have the luxury of time or a guaranteed outcome. They were ordinary men in an extraordinary situation, and they had to step up, take control, and guide an operation that was being watched by millions around the world. When you want to lead, you can't wait for permission. You have to own your decisions and make sure others understand why your approach is the best way forward. Leadership means putting yourself out there, not waiting for someone else to take the reins. But leading in chaos isn't just about making decisions. It's about keeping your head clear under pressure. Imagine navigating those flooded tunnels, knowing one wrong move could be the end for both you and the child in your arms. It's the kind of pressure that would break most people, but they didn't flinch. That's because they knew how to keep their fear in check, even when the stakes were through the roof. So how do you keep your cool when it feels like everything is on the line? You do it by training yourself to see every problem as a puzzle that can be solved. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, turn it into focus. Ask yourself, what's the next step I can take right now? This mindset can transform high-pressure situations from terrifying challenges into something manageable, step by step. It's not about suppressing fear. It's about channeling it into the energy you need to keep moving forward. The story of the Thai cave rescue isn't just a tale of survival. It's a masterclass in clarity and courage, a lesson in leading through chaos, and a testament to what it means to keep going when everything feels impossible. It asks us a fundamental question. When faced with the unknown, will you let fear dictate your choices, or will you rise to the challenge, trust in your skills, and push forward? Chaos will always be a part of life. There will always be dark caves and rising waters, whether literal or metaphorical. What defines us isn't whether we face them, it's how we respond. When you're standing at the entrance of your own dark cave, unsure of what comes next, remember those divers who plunged in against all odds. Remember that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's pushing through because you believe in something more. Believe in your strength, trust in your plan, and climb out of your own darkness. Until next time, keep rising and never let the unknown stop you from reaching for the light.